Do I have a lot to talk about today? Okay, today I'm a yapaholic. Today is my head, all week, my head has been bursting with ideas. This is the introduction. Welcome, listeners, viewers, visitors. This episode is a collection of truths that have been pressing on me, you guys. I had to bring out, why am I yelling? I had to bring out the paper. I had to bring out the notes. This is how serious today's topic is, okay? Listen, just bear with me. It might sound crazy. It might sound chaotic, but I promise you I'm so passionate about the thing that I'm talking about. Like, if you will hear me out, you will understand my line of thinking. Okay, today's theme is, let's go back to my notes because I will be chaotic without them. Self-expression, choice, power, and what we wear. Literally and metaphorically, because I'm already going crazy. I wrote these notes down so that I would be organized, and I'm not being organized. I'm not being chill about this at all, you guys. Okay, so I apologize. Let's start over. Okay, focus point number one. Fashion is political. It's the name of the video. At least I'm planning for it to be the name of the video. Okay, fashion is political. I'm so tired of everybody saying, why am I yelling? I start yelling whenever I start just being chaotic in general. And we have this crazy rectangle light in the background of my room because that's just how the light falls into the room. And I can't see now because the sun is blinding my face, but it's fine. Everything's fine. Okay, fashion is political. It is. Okay, now first we have to ask ourselves, what is fashion? What is political? Okay, so I looked it up. I wrote it down on a sticky note, but I'll put it into the video for context. The Oxford Dictionary says fashion is a popular or latest style of clothing, hair decoration, or behavior. Behavior is important, but all those other ones are important. Clothing, hair decoration, accessories, whatever. Clothing, essentially. Do you count accessories as clothing? That's a whole different video. Okay, but anyways, that's fashion. That's what fashion is. Style, clothing, how you dress yourself. Political, on the other hand, another sticky note that hasn't been ripped off of the sticky pad. Political is relating to the government or public affairs of a country. Every country has a different culture, and every culture handles what is appropriate and not appropriate to wear differently. Fashion reflects culture, values, and power dynamics. I want to highlight power dynamics, and my brain is going crazy because I have a lot to say about this, but I'm going to follow my notes. What we wear is about power and identity. It is about who you are and how the people around you will judge you and decide if you matter to them. And nobody can say that y'all don't do this, because if somebody is wearing a suit versus somebody is wearing rags, I get it, stark difference. But you're going to judge somebody in a crop top than you're going to judge somebody in a blazer, in an oversized shirt, in a well-fitting shirt. Somebody that's in a dress different than someone that's in jeans. Okay, it's our perception. We are visual creatures. We are social creatures. The way that we perceive somebody is going to affect how we treat them. We shouldn't. I don't think that we should. I think that everyone, regardless of how you dress, how you carry yourself, is entitled to the human dignity aspect of things, okay? I think that everyone's entitled to human dignity. Y'all like the bob? It's giving Edna. I need to throw a clip for that in there. Not everyone thinks that, okay? Not everyone thinks that, which is why fashion is political. Anyways, it is a canvas for expression, even choosing not to express something. If you decide, I don't care about clothes, I don't care about fashion, I have other priorities, cool, got it. But that is your first form of self-expression, and if you choose to ignore it, which honestly, I think that even people that are like, oh, well, I'm choosing to not care what I wear, and instead I'm going to wear the same thing every day. That's still a choice. That's still self-expression. Saying that you don't care about what you wear, that you're such a rebel and you're so punk, that is an expression. That is self-expression. So even expressing that you don't want to express yourself is self-expression. Dressing is self-expression, okay? I'm sorry. I talk really fast. I might have to slow this down. What else? Clothing is not superficial. It is the first form of self-expression that we make each day. I have been told, as I'm sure many other girls, guys too, I'm not a guy, I don't know if guys get told this, that it doesn't matter what you wear. It doesn't matter. It's just clothes. We're just going to the store. It does. I cannot put into words all the thoughts that are going on in my mind right now, but it does matter. Of course it matters. Perception matters. Okay, so I was editing this video today and there were a couple things that I noticed. One, I yell a lot. Two, I don't know how to word things. Three, there was a couple points that I missed that I wanted to include, or I guess kind of thoughts that I had gathered. The first one being Miuccia Prada. I'm going to be pissed if I'm not saying her name right. But Miuccia Prada is somebody that I very much look up to in this aspect, and that she was political. She had a PhD in political science. And for those of you who don't know, Miuccia Prada is not the original owner of the company. The company was founded, I think, by her father and his brother. I think. Anyways, they designed, I don't even know, I guess they were like a leather goods company. Think suitcases, think trunks, think backpacks, traveling items. I don't even know if they did backpacks. But that was the family business. She was political, she was a feminist, and she did not want to go into fashion originally, but she ended up doing it because she felt that that was a place that she could put feminism to work. And she is associated with ugly chic. Ugly chic is something that is ugly. It's considered to be ugly, but it's thought-provoking. And that is like the basis. I feel like in the videos that I was making yesterday, I was saying fashion is political over and over and over. I think that I probably need to learn how to elaborate on that better. But I feel like she lines up with my philosophy. I feel like fashion should be thought-provoking. I think that fashion should challenge, and I think that the clothes that we wear should be a challenge. I feel like, here I go again, not knowing how to word this, but Prada dares to be ugly. Prada dares to, as I mentioned in an earlier video, why I cut my hair short. Prada challenges traditional beauty standards, and that is something that I'm huge on. That is something that I'm a big fan of. Why do we find what we find beautiful, and why do we find the things ugly? Why do we find them to be ugly? So my philosophy on that is this: your judgment says more about you than it does about the object that you are perceiving. I think that that's what I like about Prada, is that it makes you question yourself, and it's like, oh my god, that's disgusting, this is disruptive, this is chaotic, I don't like the way this makes me feel. And if you have any sense of self-awareness, you're going to be like, why is it like that? And I think Prada is anything more art. It makes you ask why. I think good art makes you question things. I think that it does. I mean, you have quality art, which is like a really, really beautiful painting, and even then it could generate questions. But I like art in the aspect of society, challenges, daring to be different, daring to be ugly. Being ugly right now, it is such a big thing for me. Like, daring to be ugly, even just wearing this shirt. Like, I think that it was because of the roles that I was playing beforehand, the way that I perceived beauty beforehand. Yeah, I'm getting off topic, I'm sorry. Ironically enough, I have a tattoo that symbolizes this whole philosophy. My tattoo represents perception, and essentially for me, it means beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It's a fractal. It's like a drawing of just eyes, and it's on my thigh. And it's essentially to remind me that you are how I perceive you to be. Perception is important. I am what you perceive me to be. I should be more focused on the way that I perceive you than the way that you perceive me. Because perception tells you something about a person. Your perception says more about you than it does that the object that you're talking about. Let's talk about an orange. Let's use an orange fruit. If somebody says this fruit is ugly, well, I feel like that says more about the person than it does about the fruit. The fruit is the fruit. The fruit is orange. It is round. It might got a little leaf in there. It might have a weird texture. But the only thing that we've learned from this statement is that you perceive this to be ugly, which raises the question, why? Do you not like the color orange? Do you not like fruit? Let's bring up another example. Let's say a cardboard box, and a person says, oh, this looks small. In the context of what? What are you comparing it to? Are you comparing it to a building? Are you comparing it to moving boxes? Were you recently moving? The box has not changed. The box remains unchanged. The box remains a box. You might have another person say, that looks like a weak box. It doesn't like it's going to hold anything. And the only difference is the way that these people perceive it. Objectively, the box has not changed. The orange has not changed. The same thing goes for fashion. It's like based on that philosophy that beauty's in the eye of the beholder. We might say the dress looks good, which is vague, but let's say the dress looks good. Somebody else says it looks ugly. All that you learn from that, the dress remains the same. It's a matter of opinion. You see that one person's preference is not that, and a person's preference is that. Maybe they like the color, maybe they like the silhouette, maybe they like that it's revealing, maybe they like that it's bold. It says about the person what their preferences are. And I think that Prada does a good job, and maybe other brands. I'm just highlighting Prada because I recently watched a video on them, but they do a good job of like raising those questions, raising those feelings. Why do we feel the way that we feel about fashion? Yeah. In conclusion, I think that I've discussed a lot of topics here, a lot of topics that I maybe myself don't know how to personally connect, but they're in my mind. I'm going to get better at connecting them. But fashion is powerful. I think that Michio realized that when she said over the course of several, I think decades, that she said that she realized how fashion could be used as a tool, as a culture changer to send messages, to provoke ideas. And I know that it may not seem as serious as something like politics. It may not seem as serious as something like a government position or an engineering position. I've talked about this in my videos before. But I just feel, and I was thinking, I just feel like, I don't know how I feel. I don't have the words. I guess that's it. Fashion is political. Self-expression is political. They're controversial. We should challenge them. We should think about them. We should not take them for granted. More to come.